talk about how to format your page in Inkscape 1.0 or format or give your documents some properties. So when you open Inkscape at the beginning, this is what you see. And you can imagine that if you are new to Inkscape, this is normally what is called the page. And you can imagine this whole thing as this thing here, this area here being your table, and this thing here being your sheets of paper that you are going to draw on or write on. So for you to go to the documents properties, you go to file and then you go to documents properties. The document properties, when it pops up, this is what you see. For you, the first thing you're going to see is the page. Let's look at the page. By default, the page is A4 and it's given by this size. So this is how it looks like. You can change it to whichever page size you want by going through this. They have some form of list that you can either choose from which property you want. If you scroll down, you can choose from whichever you want if you read, or you can also choose whether you want is portraits or landscape, the orientation of the paper. And then if you don't like which of the predefined page sizes, you can also go to custom size in case you are doing your YouTube channel and you want to do something for your channel art or something. You can specify the width and the height here, and here in the units you can choose either whether you want it in pixels or centimeters, millimeters, inches, or pixels. I want mine in millimeters now, so I leave it as it is. And then you can also choose the background. Normally Inkscape, you see this as white, but it's actually transparent, so your background is transparent. Whatever you draw here, if you save it and you don't specifically put a background, if you save it and you open it in something like GIMP, you see that it's transparent because you are going to see that the alpha channel is 0. Now let's you can also, in case you need a checkerboard background, so you are doing something, you think you need that and it's better for you, you can check here. If you check it here, you can now you can also change the background color. For example, if you don't like this color and you want whichever color, you can go through these colors and try to change the color of your background. Now one thing is if you don't want the checked, you saw I changed it to this background, that's why it became that when I moved around. Then you have the checked like this. If you don't want this color and you want some other color, like I don't know, we can go back, maybe we go back to our original color. Let's see, what is it we want. Maybe we go to our original color, and then we don't want maybe checked, then you go here. So this is where you can control your background if you want. I normally work with the default background, but if you want, then you can use that. You can also look here. If you press this one, it shows the page border. This is the page border. If you don't want it, and you can also unclick it, you can introduce it again. You can also do the border on top of the drawing. So if I have some drawing here, you can put the border on top of the drawing. If you don't check it, then your drawing is the border is not on top of your drawing. You can also show border shadow. if you want. If you don't want, you unclick it, yeah, and then you can change the border color. If you want any other color, I prefer the black. If you want any other color, you play with these colors here and you choose whatever you like. When you close it there, the border will change. Now the next thing here, because we'll be try to go through these things from the documents property. If you go to guides, YouTube has guide. These are something like rulers that you can use. Oh, sorry. Yes, you have it has these guides that you can use if in case you are drawing something, in case you need precision or something. These are rulers or guides that you can use. The color here tells this. If you uncheck it, you don't see the guides. This is show guides, so if you want to see them. And then this color here, you can change the color of the guides if you press them. You see, this is blue, but I said a highlight color. So if you try to highlight it, touch it with the mouse, then it goes to red. So that you can change the color if you don't want the default that it comes with the program. Now another thing is grade. You can go here and change your background to a grade. They have two grades. They have the rectangular grade and the isometric grade. Let's try the rectangular grade. You just choose it and go to new, and then you get it. If you don't want it, you can manipulate the X origin, the Y origin, the spacing. I normally don't do anything. I use it as it is, but you can manipulate it and change colors and all. And also, if you want the other grade, the isometric grade, you just do that and you press new and it changes to that. If you don't want, you want to go back, then you go back to the original thing. Now we go to snap. Sometimes you draw something, you want them to snap together. That is, for example, I'll show you how it is, but for this to work, you always have to have this on. For me to show you how to use the snap, maybe we make this my page here a bit bigger. You can just hit 5 on your keyboard and it makes it bigger for you to work on. And then where I have the snap here, first we draw an object. So I draw this, my rectangle, and now we have these two rectangles. Let's draw another one. Okay, you see what's happened? It snapped it to the edges. It's connected to each other. If we change it, I want to see whether if I select it, what will happen, and I try to move it. You see, even if I try to move it anywhere, it forces itself to snap to this object. That's what it is, always snapping. If I change it to this one, snap only at some distance. Let's see whether if I move it, it will go. No, you see, it did not go, force itself to snap. So if it's always snap, then it will always try to force itself to another thing. If not, then it will be free depending on the distance you choose here. If it's very close to the distance you choose here, then it will snap. Very good. It snap to grade. If you choose this one, whatever you draw here will snap to the grade. Snap only when closer than is the same. You choose some distance. Snap to guides. The guides, those are the rulers. If you want your thing to snap to the guides always, or snap only at some distance. And then you can choose also snap perpendicularly or snap tangentially. Now we go to the next one, is colors. So this, you can choose some color profile in case you don't like the other profiles, then you want to add some other color profiles. They have some suggestions there. You can choose that and you can use it. You can also do some scripting. You write the name, external script file, you put the name here, and you can do some scripts in here, or you can do metadata, so you can put the title, the dates you created something, and all the information here if you want something like that. And if you want to create some form of license for your work, you can choose some of this, or you can copy something from the internet, or put the URI here. So that's basically what you can do when you want to create a document. You can change the formats of the page, and you can change some of the properties of the page. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel to help me. I'll be doing more videos on all the tools that they have here, and some of the things here. And as well, with time we'll be drawing things so that you know how to draw some things. But basically, first I'll show how to use these things. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.